The end of an era rarely arrives quietly. For Outlander fans, the closing of the Jamie and Claire chapter is bittersweet enough, but nothing prepared the fandom for the emotional words Sam Heughan shared about his longtime co-star Caitríona Balfe. With the show officially wrapped and only its final season awaiting release, Heughan sat down for an interview with the Post, and what he revealed sent shockwaves through the devoted fanbase that has followed them for more than a decade. "Caitríona and I are going to be in each other's lives forever," he said with quiet conviction. It was the kind of statement that stopped readers in their tracks. For years, fans have watched the on-screen romance of Jamie and Claire blossom into one of television's most iconic love stories, but behind the camera, both actors have maintained that their relationship is rooted firmly in friendship. To hear Sam speak with such emotional honesty, framing Caitríona not just as a colleague but as a permanent fixture in his life, struck a nerve that rippled across the Outlander fandom. He didn't stop there. Sam praised Caitríona for her ongoing success, describing her with admiration and genuine pride. "We are firm friends, and have been through this amazing journey together. I'm just so happy that she's being really successful and continuing working on some great projects." It was a tribute that resonated with fans who have long admired their ability to balance professional triumphs with an unshakable connection. But it also reignited questions that have haunted the fandom since the show's premiere in 2014. Is there something deeper between them? Part of what made Sam's words so powerful was the timing. With filming for Outlander concluded, and the end of Jamie and Claire's story looming, emotions are already running high. Fans are clinging to every detail, every glimpse of their favorite stars together, knowing that the next red carpet event or press junket may be one of the last. In that atmosphere of heightened sentiment, Sam's emotional words landed with seismic impact. Heughan also painted a picture of the off-screen bond he and Caitríona share, recalling a recent lunch in London. He joked lightly about how their get-togethers sometimes led to the odd margarita or two, but this time, he noted, they behaved themselves. It was a simple, almost mundane anecdote, yet it underscored the depth of their relationship. Away from the cameras and the glare of Hollywood, they still make time for each other, catching up like old friends who have weathered a storm together. For fans, that casual intimacy was as telling as any scripted moment on Outlander. Social media lit up almost immediately after the interview was published. Screenshots of Sam's quotes spread like wildfire, accompanied by hashtags like #Sam and Kate Forever and #Outlander Family. Fans flooded comment sections with emotional reactions. Some expressed gratitude for the transparency, writing that his words had moved them to tears. Others read between the lines, convinced that Sam's statements hinted at feelings he has never publicly admitted. "You don't talk about a co-star like that unless it's more than friendship," one fan tweeted. Another countered, "This is what true friendship looks like. Why can't people just accept that?" The split in interpretation highlighted the unique tension of the Outlander fandom. For many, the line between fiction and reality has always been blurry. Jamie and Claire's love story is so immersive that fans struggle to separate it from Sam and Caitríona's actual lives. By speaking so tenderly about her, Sam simultaneously satisfied and complicated that longing. His emotional words gave fans exactly what they craved, proof of a deep bond, while also sparking endless speculation about what those words truly meant. The press, predictably, leaned into the drama. Entertainment outlets ran headlines like, "Sam Heughan's emotional tribute to Caitríona Balfe," and "Outlander star declares, we'll be in each other's lives forever." But tabloid-style blogs went further, suggesting that Sam's words were a veiled love confession. They replayed the quotes, dissected his tone, and reminded readers of the countless times he and Caitríona have gushed about each other in interviews. Whether fair or not, the narrative shifted from a heartfelt farewell to a scandal-tinged speculation. For longtime fans, however, what stood out was the raw sincerity of his statements. After more than a decade of grueling schedules, international shoots, and intense fan scrutiny, Sam and Caitríona have emerged not as rivals or estranged colleagues, but as friends who remain fiercely loyal. That kind of bond is rare in Hollywood, where partnerships often fracture once the cameras stop rolling. His words weren't just about Caitríona. They were a testament to the unique family forged on the Outlander set. Still, the fandom couldn't ignore the lingering questions. Why now? Why choose this moment to speak so openly about his feelings for Caitríona? Was it simply the natural sentiment of a man looking back on a chapter of his life with nostalgia? Or was it something more, a confession wrapped in careful phrasing, timed to coincide with the end of their on-screen story? One thing was undeniable. Sam Heughan's emotional words had rocked the fandom. For some, it was a gift, a reminder of the depth and authenticity of a friendship they had long admired. For others, it was an invitation to dream again, to hope that the love story of Jamie and Claire might not end with the final credits, but live on in some hidden truth between Sam and Caitríona. And as the fandom debated, cried, and celebrated, one reality remained. Whatever those words meant, they had changed the way fans would forever view Sam and Caitríona's bond. The emotional weight of Sam Heughan's words didn't fade quickly. Instead, they echoed through the Outlander fandom, sparking a storm of reactions that revealed just how much the bond between Sam and Caitríona Balfe has meant to millions over the past decade. What began as a heartfelt tribute quickly transformed into a polarizing flashpoint, dividing fans, fueling media speculation, and even casting a shadow over the long-anticipated final season of the show. For one faction of the fandom, Sam's words were a blessing. They saw them as validation that the chemistry and connection they had celebrated for years wasn't just an on-screen illusion but a real, enduring friendship. "This proves what we've always known," one fan posted in an emotional tribute thread. "Sam and Caitríona's bond is unbreakable. They've given us so much, and now we know they'll always be in each other's lives." Supporters flooded timelines with montages of the duo's interviews, behind-the-scenes laughter, and photos from conventions, celebrating the legacy of their partnership. But another faction read Sam's words differently. For them, the emotional tone went beyond friendship. Some saw it as a veiled love confession, carefully phrased to honor Caitríona without crossing any boundaries. "You don't say something like that unless your feelings run deeper," one fan argued, sparking heated debates online. Others suggested that his public praise might have been a subtle reaction to years of rumors, a way of drawing attention to their closeness without ever admitting what many believed was true. The speculation snowballed as the media latched on. Headlines shifted from admiration to intrigue. Sam Heughan's emotional tribute, or secret confession? Tabloids revisited every past interview, replaying clips where Sam and Caitríona gazed at each other with knowing smiles or teased one another with unguarded intimacy. Even Caitríona's married status didn't stop the frenzy. If anything, it added more fuel, with commentators questioning whether Sam's words hinted at what could have been, dynamic between the two. Caitríona's own reaction only intensified the drama. When asked about Sam's comments during a press junket for one of her upcoming films, she smiled softly and replied, "Sam and I have shared something truly unique. I think we'll always carry that with us, no matter where our careers take us." The response was graceful, but it was also ambiguous enough to invite endless interpretation. Was she confirming the depth of their connection, or carefully sidestepping the storm while acknowledging its emotional truth? The fandom dissected her tone, her choice of words, even the expression in her eyes. Clips of her answer went viral, split-screened alongside Sam's original quotes, with captions like, "Look at the way she looks when she talks about him," and "This is more than friendship." Suddenly, what began as Sam's heartfelt tribute had become a duet, two carefully measured statements that, when placed side by side, sounded like verses of a love song. For producers of Outlander, the timing was precarious. With the final season still awaiting release, the narrative around Sam and Caitríona's relationship threatened to overshadow the show itself. Instead of speculating about Jamie and Claire's ending, fans were consumed with analyzing the real-life bond of the actors who brought them to life. Some insiders worried that the show's farewell would be hijacked by off-screen drama, while others quietly acknowledged that the frenzy only amplified attention. Still, for Sam and Caitríona, the weight of public expectation was undeniable. What should have been a moment of nostalgic reflection had become another chapter in the saga of Sam and Caitríona, a saga as layered, emotional, and complicated as the characters they played. The irony wasn't lost on fans. Even as Jamie and Claire prepared to bid farewell on screen, Sam and Caitríona found themselves pulled deeper into the narrative that blurred fiction and reality. The emotional fallout revealed something profound about fandom culture. For some, Sam's words were comforting, proof that the magic of Jamie and Claire would live on through the unshakable friendship of their actors. For others, they were tantalizing hints of a deeper truth, fueling speculation that will likely never end. And for a small but vocal minority, the comments reopened old wounds, reigniting debates over whether fans should project their own fantasies onto real people's lives. In the end, Sam's emotional tribute achieved something few moments in celebrity culture ever do. It united fans in their passion, even as it divided them in their interpretation. His words rocked the fandom not just because of what he said, but because of what people wanted them to mean. For some, it was love. For others, friendship. For everyone, it was a reminder that Sam and Caitríona's partnership, whatever form it takes, has become larger than life. As the dust settled, one truth remained. Long after Outlander ends, the conversation about Sam and Caitríona will continue. And perhaps that is the ultimate legacy of his emotional words. They ensured that the bond between Jamie and Claire, and the actors who brought them to life, will never truly fade away.